I'm not sure either. You must be pretty tired to fall asleep out here. Although it's pretty comfortable, I suppose. She plops down next to me and begins to eat. Rin sits opposite from the two of us, a move which only makes me more aware of the girl sitting next to me. If I didn't know any better, I'd swear Rin did it on purpose. I concentrate on my food, trying to turn out the majority of the conversation that Rin and Emmy are having. Despite my best efforts, however, I still find myself glancing over at Emmy whenever she speaks. I notice how she purses her lips when she's thinking about something, squinting slightly as if that would improve her thinking ability. Rin says something that makes Emmy laugh, and I notice, perhaps for the first time, how she laughs with her whole body, rocking back and forth, head thrown back, almost like she's about to fall over. I probably look like a creep. It's about time that I realize Emmy's looking at me. Her voice raised slightly, so she'd probably just asked me a question. Sorry, I kinda dozed there for a moment. Emmy rolls her eyes, with a slight quirk of the eyebrow, is the only sign that Rin's even paying attention. I said, did you get a career survey in your class too? You know, one of those, what would you want to do after high school things? I don't think so. Maybe we'll get one tomorrow. What are you gonna put down? That's a really good question. I guess I always figured that I'd go to college after high school, but I've had no idea what I'd do once I got there. And with the heart attack and all, I had really been concentrating on each day as it would come, rather than making long-term plans. I suppose I can safely start planning ahead again. I've always liked having at least a vague plan of my future, so it'll be nice to come up with one again. Of course, that doesn't change the fact that I always kind of assumed that I'd figure it out in college. That or just become a salary man. That's pretty popular. But do I really want to? That's a tough question. I guess I don't really want to do anything. You sound very excited about that one, you do? She laughs as she says this, and I'm caught up in her laugh again. It's so girlish, high and giggly, like, well, pardon the cliche, like a babbling brook. It bubbles out of her, starting in her belly and working its way up her throat. I can't help but laugh myself. It's infectious. Yeah, I guess I'm pretty unhappy with the salaryman idea. But to be honest, I haven't given much thought to my future really recently. I suppose that these days I've been more concentrated with living one day at a time. Emmy considers for a moment and grins. That's a pretty good idea, Sayo. Yes. I just wrote down pirate. I'm momentarily stunned, then I start laughing. I stop myself and manage to gasp out a question. You're not actually serious, are you? Emmy looks mock offended. Well, I've gotten the legs for it already, so I kind of figured. Oh my gosh. Even Rin seems amused by this, because Emmy has no legs. Just you wait, I'll be the terror of the high seas. I'll show you all. I've been working on my pirate voice. She suddenly springs up and began swaggering up and down the rooftop, shouting orders. Yar, me hearties, give 'em a broadside with the long guns. We'll wear their guts for garters. Do you even know what that means? Rin's unexpected interruption stops Emmy in her tracks. Not really. But it's all in all the delivery. The ringing of the bell prevents her from demonstrating her point further. Emmy dashes off immediately, leaving Rin and myself alone on the roof. Rin stares at me intently for a few moments. Is there something wrong? Rin shakes her head. Nope. Oh, why the staring then? Rin shakes her head again. Nope, I don't get it. Get what? The staring thing. You two seem to, but I don't. Great, she saw me staring. Now she probably thinks I'm a pervert or something. Actually, probably not. This is Rin we're talking about after all. Still, I feel the need to defend myself. I wasn't staring, I was just tired. Rin actually snorts at this, but she doesn't say anything. No, really, I was just distracted is all. Mm-hmm. Eager to end the conversation, I head back down to class. I'm greeted by the twin specters of Shizune and Misha, looking like they mean business. Well, Shizune looks like she means business anyway. Misha just looks like she's about to start laughing at any minute. Up on the roof again, Hick-chan? You know that's dangerous, don't you? That's right. The school cannot be held responsible for any injury that comes from being up there, you know? Furthermore, we could report you for breaking the rules. Misha leans in and whispers conspiratorially. But we won't, Hick-chan. You three are too cute together. She straightens up again, laughing at my sudden blush. If anybody's just watching this for the first time, the girl with the blue hair is deaf, so the pink-haired girl's always translating and talking to her. So if the conversation sounds weird, it's because anytime it's dot 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 dot, that's the blue-haired girl signing to the loud pink-haired girl. She straightens up again, laughing at my sudden blush. You're too easy to tease, Hick-chan. Hey, come on. I'm still new here, sort of. Isn't it mean to pick on a newcomer like this? Nope! It's to help you get acclimated to your new surroundings. Ah, I see. Well, do you have to be so overzealous about it? Yep! Ah, that aside, Hick-chan, we were looking for you this morning, but you weren't in your room. Of course I wasn't. I was out for my morning exercise, or here in class bright and early. Unlike you. Ooh. Shizune looks peeved, and a beat later, so does Misha. Or she tries to at any rate. That was because of student council business. You should be grateful that we worked so hard for you. Oh, I am. So what did you need me for? Not another attempt to rope me in to do their dirty work, I hope. We had to give you something, but since you weren't around, we dropped it off in your room. Something? Like what? Oh, you'll find out when you get back, Hick-chan. Muto entering the room ends our conversation, and we all head to our seats. It's only after I've settled down at my desk and the teacher started talking about something or another that something odd strikes me. What did Rin mean, you two seem to? Was Emmy staring at something too? Yes, crotch. For a brief moment I considered the possibility that Emmy was staring at me the way I was staring at her. Of course, that's ridiculous. Still, I can't deny that I wouldn't mind if it was true. But it's best not to think of that. No need to get my hopes up. Come to think of it, when did I start having hopes like that anyway? I shake my head in an attempt to clear it and focus on the lesson. After class, I make my way to my room. Moto really piled up the homework today. Before I can open up my door, however, I'm suddenly intercepted by Kenji, who has just exploded out of his own room in a flurry of papers. Hey, we need to talk. These rooftop shenanigans of yours, man, they gotta stop. What? You're running around on the rooftop with limbless wonders. Oh my god. The one girl has no arms, the other girl has no legs, so he calls them the limbless wonders. They're women, man. You'll get yourself killed running around like that. I don't follow. Kenji sighs and adjusts his glasses. before what could be understood as an attempt at explaining himself patiently. Look, we're friends, so I'm telling you this for your own good. But if I were going to kill someone, I'd do it by throwing them off the roof and making it look like an accident. Wow. And if I thought of it, you can be sure that they've thought of it too. They're crafty, almost as crafty as I am. I see. Good. I'm glad we had this chat. Loan me 500 yen. I'm sorry? I need to get a drink, man. I've been inside all day and the tap water's been compromised, as I'm sure you know. So I need to stock up on something canned. Got it? But to do that, I need 500 yen. And since I just saved your life with my timely advice, you can at least spare me 500 yen. You know, you know, if it'll make him go away, 500 yen is a bargain. I hand the money over to Kenji, who nods and thanks and dashes off down the hallway, but not before he locks his door. What an exhausting person. I'd better go in case he changes his mind. As I close my door, my heel taps against something lying on the floor. It's a bright colored rectangle of paper. Ah, this must be the something Misha had mentioned before. Probably a student council letter. A leaflet that she slid under the door. However, when I pick it up, I find that I couldn't have been more wrong. Someone actually wrote me an old-fashioned handwritten paper letter. Who bothers doing something like that in this day and age anyway? Yet, as unlikely as the prospect of receiving one sounds, this is definitely a letter I have in my hands. I was planning on finishing my homework, getting in some dinner, and going to order a pizza, or be ready for tomorrow's morning run. However, the letters naturally caught my interest. I sit at my desk to examine it properly. It's the first piece of mail that I've received at Yamaku, so I'd feel pretty special even if it was something as rare as a handwritten letter. What causes me even more trepidation is the name of the sender, written nearly on the back of the envelope. Awakano. I have no idea why she would write me. Oh, that's the girl from the beginning! That he had the heart attack talking to her. I haven't been in contact with anyone from my old school since I transferred, and Iwakano is the last person I'd expect to want to write me a letter. Aww. Wait. The last time I saw Iwakano was terribly awkward, embarrassingly so. She came to my hospital room, peeled me an apple out of courtesy, then we practically sat in silence for half an hour. She said goodbye and didn't look me in the eye when she closed the door. It might have been natural to end the series of visits with what were probably pretty painful for both of us. Every time she visited me in the hospital, I wanted to talk to her, but something stopped me every time. Every time that I didn't speak made the next time even harder. She looked so guilty that I didn't want to say anything that might upset her, and I never could figure out the right words to say. I think Iwakano blamed herself for my heart attack. That's ridiculous, of course, but knowing it and believing it are two different things. I told her it wasn't her fault, and she nodded, and I really think she understood that if it had been that, then sooner or later something else would have made my heart give out. Yet she looked so hopelessly sad every time she opened that door and entered my room. So I never managed to say the things I wanted to say. Carefully, I open the letter and draw out the folded letter from within. I'm real curious what this is going to say. Dear Hisayo, how are you? I hope you're well and happy at your new school. Everyone here misses you. No, they don't. Almost all of our second year class got put together in class 3-1 for the final year, so we're pretty comfortable right from the beginning of the year. I'm sure you would have been assigned to this class as well. The mood among the third years seems to be very anxious about the final exams, even though they're so far away. The teachers are badgering us about it all the time, even old Mr. Takibana, who is, by the way, our homeroom teacher this year.